This is Express Entry and the Provincial Nominee Program. Now, the reason why I like the Express Entry is because you just come to Canada as a permanent resident. You don't have to study, you don't have to look for a job, This is the most straightforward way to PR, and this is one route that a lot of people don't understand, yeah? So I'm just going to give a brief review about the Express Entry and the Provincial Nominee Program. The Express Entry is Canada's main pathway for economic immigration. So that's the way that Canada is, in a way, harvesting people to come and help the economic situation in Canada. People that can work, people that can contribute to the economy. That is what Canada is using the Express Entry for. Express Entry is a system that oversees 3 of Canada's economic immigration programs: the Federal Skilled Worker Program, the Canadian Experience Class, and the Federal Skilled Trades Program. All of these programs have different eligibility criteria and requirements. But for today, we're just concentrating on the Federal Skilled Workers Program, yeah? But there's also the CEC and the FSTP. But for the Federal Skilled Workers Program, please note that it is not a lottery system. Canada does not operate a lottery system. I've seen all of these things on social media. Lottery system, Canada doesn't do a lottery system. It is a points-based system, but it's not a lottery system. And the process is simple. The first thing you need to do is you create an Express Entry profile. Yeah, that's absolutely free. You don't need to pay money to do it. You can do it on the Canada's immigration website. However, you need 3 things. You need your English test or your French test. You need to have done your education credential if you schooled outside of Canada, and you need to have at least 1 year of skilled work experience. So 1 year of work experience, yeah? So after you create the profile, you get into the pool, yeah? Just creating a profile gets you in the pool, yeah? You don't need to go and dive into any pool. So creating the profile gets you into the pool, and you get your score, what is called the CRS score. Now, RCC holds an Express Entry draw. It used to be every 2 weeks, but now they just hold it anytime they like, right? And if you meet the minimum cutoff point, you get invited to apply for permanent residence. And that's why it gets exciting, right? So you get in the pool, you have your CRS score, Canada holds a draw, you meet the minimum cutoff point, and you get an email saying, oh, congratulations, you are invited to apply for permanent residency in Canada. That's when you move to the next step. You submit your documents to RCC. So all your work documents, your passport, your family documents, your financial documents, all of those things you submit, and RCC processes your PR application. Now, this is usually a timeline of 6 months, yeah? Give or take, it's about 6 months. And if you are successful, you receive your confirmation of permanent residence. So they send you an email and congratulate you that, congratulations, you're a permanent resident in Canada. And based on that, you can come to Canada and get your PR card. You are free to reside anywhere in Canada permanently. You are free to live, work, and study in the country as you please. And after you've been in Canada for a certain number of days, based on your permanent residency, you can apply for citizenship. This is just the step-by-step process to become a permanent resident using the Express Entry. And it's simple. You can see you don't have to look for a job. I didn't say anything like that, yeah? You do not need a job to qualify. However, if you get a qualifying job, yeah, it will give you more points. You are not disqualified based on age. So there's no age limit. However, you get points for age. So you can get to a certain age and you score 0 for points. But that doesn't mean that you are disqualified. If you score 0 for points, you can still score points in other areas, right? It does not matter what your academic degree is. So even if you studied food and nutrition, but you're working as a banker, it doesn't matter. So it's not about what you studied. And if it's not a provincial nominee program, you can live anywhere in Canada, yeah? However, something really exciting happened with the Express Entry last year. Was it last year? Yeah. So Canada started prioritizing those who fall under 6 categories, yeah? So if you have work experience in healthcare, in any of the STEM professions, in trades, so carpenters, plumbers, contractors, in transport, agriculture, and agri-food, Canada is prioritizing that. If you have strong French language proficiency, so if you live in any of the African French countries and you can speak French, you can write French, and you can pass the French exam, Canada actually is prioritizing people in these categories. Yeah. So if you can do the French exam, you are in agriculture, agri-food, healthcare, STEM, trade, or transport, you have an advantage, which means that even if your CRS score is not high enough for the general draws, you still have a chance at getting that invitation to apply under the category-based selection. So what Canada is doing is they are doing draws just based on people who are, for example, who have French proficiency, yeah? People who have submitted a French language test, or people who are in healthcare, or people who are in trades or agriculture. So they have certain occupations under these professions that they are selecting, and you have to go and check if your own profession falls under this, yeah? So there are certain occupations. Now, you also get a chance at the provincial nomination. If you are under the express entry, a province in Canada can nominate you, say maybe Ontario or Saskatchewan or British Columbia, which are the provinces in Canada, the different places where you will land, right? Or Ontario, they can nominate you in the pool. So if Ontario is looking for people who are nurses and you are a nurse, you are in the pool, they can send you an invitation. And once they do and you accept it, you get 600 points. That will almost guarantee that you will get an invitation the next draw. Yeah. So you can also apply to a province on its own. So you can go and submit an expression of interest to a province like maybe Saskatchewan or Manitoba to say, you know what, I want to live in Saskatchewan. I love this province. I meet all the requirements. You submit an expression of interest, and if you meet the requirements, they are going to call you. Okay? So how do you know if you're eligible? Number one, you check your eligibility criteria. Do you meet the minimum requirements? Do you have at least 1 year of that work experience in the last 10 years? And this is very generous. It's in the last 10 years. So if you have worked as a nurse in the last 10 years or in transport in the last 10 years, even though right now you are doing something else, you can still come into the express entry based on the work experience that you've had before. Yeah? If you want to qualify in the category-based draws, you need only 6 months of work experience, not 1 year. Excuse me. You need to pass the English or French test, do your education credential, which is the WES or the ICAS, and you must have sufficient funds for the number of family members that you have, for yourself, your spouse, and your children, or yourself alone. You need to show that you have monies to take care of yourself in Canada. So the express entry, why should you bother with the express entry? Number one, like I said before, fastest route to becoming a permanent resident is the express entry. Fastest route to becoming a Canadian citizen, express entry. I'm sure that you don't want to just be a permanent resident. You also want to be a citizen and have your own Canadian passport, okay? You have full access to Canadian healthcare. You have the right to live and work in Canada. You have the right to start a business. You have the right to do anything you want to do. The only thing that you don't have the right to is to vote and be voted for. But once you become a citizen, you can actually be voted for and you can actually vote. Now, in as much as this express entry is so beautiful, yeah, it is confusing, yeah? It can feel like going through a maze because some people are very confused. They're like, oh, it is so complicated. Well, it can be complicated if you don't know what you're doing. And you can make certain mistakes if you don't understand it, yeah? And I don't want that for you. Because I talk to people every day, right? I hear a lot of horror stories of people who were misled by someone. Some people say, oh, my friend told me to do this. I did it, and then I didn't get I didn't get in and all of that. You need to avoid those mistakes. Sometimes our friends might mean well, but they might not know well, okay? So if you are still awake, you are still gaining value, or people are still saying they are here. Okay, good. So we're going on. So the question is, okay, Shay, how do I start? You have talked about express entry. How do I even start this one? Express entry, for you to start, I said you needed 3 things. You need to go do your English exam or your French exam. You need to go get your education credential assessed or evaluated, and you need to know what your occupation is and whether your occupation qualifies. You just choose one occupation in the last 10 years that you have at least 1 year of skilled work experience. you choose it. So even if you're a banker now, but you have done agriculture in the past, that is what you should choose so that you are assessed based on that occupation. Okay, so I'm a permanent resident in Canada. I've been through this process. I've guided others through this process, and I can guide you as well if you will allow me. I can reduce your stress and show you how to go about it so that it's not as confusing, because Express Entry truly can be confusing. But I'm going to show you everything you need to know from A to Z. And I'm going to advise you that you take it one step at a time. Don't try and look at the entire process. It can be confusing. Just do the first 3 things that I talked about. Okay? So if I show you how to create an Express Entry profile, how to make yourself, put yourself in the best way to get an invitation to apply, and you see value in it, are you willing to commit to do what I tell you to do? Let me know. Oh, awesome. So, like I said before, this is a value that I'm providing to you where you can easily go and check a masterclass step-by-step guide. Yeah, you don't need to be calling me based on the time difference between me and you. You can just get this Express Entry Masterclass. It's going to walk you from the beginning to the end. Like, this is one masterclass where I put in my blood and sweat because I understand how complicated Express Entry is. So it will guide you, show you how to prepare for your Express Entry profile. It shows you how to prepare an application that does not have errors so that you're not wasting time and wasting money. Yeah. So we have checklists, we have templates, we have sample documents, because even for the Express Entry, you also need to write a letter of explanation, right? If there's something you need to explain, we show you how to write all of those, all the things that you need, yeah, when you are putting together your application, so that you're not missing something out. And then, you know, sometimes these officers, they will not ask you, they will just deny. That's the bad thing. Sometimes they won't ask. So in this masterclass, you will learn how to increase your chances of getting that invitation to apply, how to properly complete your profile, how to select your proper knock code. A lot of people are confused about what is my knock code. How do I know if my knock code qualifies? We're going to show you how to do that. Choosing the knock code is very critical. Yeah, how to increase your CRS scores, how to pass the IELTS. IELTS is an English language exam, but it's about skill and strategy. What you can do to meet the certain requirements, what to do if you do not have sufficient funds. Oh, I don't have the money. What am I going to do? You will learn all of that in this masterclass. Yeah? And we also give you a bonus called the ABC of Canada Provincial Nominee Program. So there are 10 provinces in Canada. You can come and live in any of them. Despite the fact that there's the Express Entry, some of these provinces also allow you to apply directly to them. So if you like Ontario, you can apply to Ontario directly. We're going to show you the easiest provinces for you to get that provincial nomination and how to go the provincial nomination from the beginning to the end. Okay? We also provide support, so you can ask your questions. You can, if you need any clarification, you have inquiries, all of that, you can do it through the masterclass. And it's only 60,000 naira. Yeah, I'm not beating about the bush. I'm just going straight to it. So these are very affordable. So you should not shy away from getting the guide or getting the help that you need. The most important thing is for you to get the guide that will help you and to get it from somebody that you trust. Yeah. So if you're here, I'm trying to build trust with you for you to understand that we've also helped a lot more people to come to Canada using the same guide. So if you want the Express Entry Masterclass, the Provincial Nominee Program, you get it for this price. It's very affordable. It is practical, and we always update it. Now, guess what? You can be doing this alongside the caregiver. So even if you are searching for a caregiver job in Canada, you can also increase your chances by also creating an Express Entry profile. Anything can happen. The way Canada is when it comes to immigration, anything can happen. Yeah, they can start to go to the Express Entry pool and pack everybody. And if you don't have a profile, you will regret because you would have missed your chance. Yeah. So those two bonuses alone, I'm going to show you how to create a profile inside the masterclass. Yeah. So once you get the masterclass, that is the first module, how to create a profile. So go get the masterclass.